Good morning. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hi, I'm Betsy Robertson. I am serve on this Shoreline City Council at position 6, and this year and for the next 18 months, I get to have the pleasure of serving as the mayor of Shoreline. Thank you. So thank you all for being here for the State of the City breakfast, and we're going to start by recognizing the elected officials who are in attendance today. I want to express my sincere appreciation for your service. So I didn't see him. Washington State Senator Jesse Solomon? No? Is he? Okay. Awkward. All right. Well, thank you. Washington State Representative Lauren Davis. King County Council Member Rod Dembowski. Mount Lake Terrace Mayor Steve Woodard and Mount Lake Terrace Council Member Keiaku Matsumoto Wright. From the Edmond City Council, we have Council Members Will Chen and Vivian Olson. Is Linwood City Council Member Chelsea Wright in the room? No? Okay. North City Water District Commissioners Patty Hale and Charlotte Haynes. Charlotte. I'd also like to recognize Shayna Deitch from Senator Murray's office, Josie McKinley from Senator Cantwell's office, Marielle Trumbauer from Congresswoman Jayapal's office, and E. Tyler Crone from King County Executive Zahale's office. Now I want to thank my colleagues from the Shoreline City Council. Please stand as I call your name. Deputy Mayor Eben Pobey. Council members Chris Roberts, Keith Scully. Is Laura Mork in the room? Nope. Vivian Snyder? I'm sorry. Looking too many. Annette Adamasu and Valerie Snyder. Sorry, Valerie. Okay, I'd also like to recognize our city manager, Bristol Ellington. And let's embarrass Senator Jesse Solomon for making it into the room. Okay. Also, just the dedicated staff that we have here in the city Shoreline, and I want to call out whoever did these beautiful flower arrangements. Absolutely spectacular. So thank you to our dedicated city staff. Are there any Parks, PRCS, Tree Board members in the audience, or Parks or Planning Commissioners? How about graduates of our CityWise program? Excellent. Individuals who have served on an ad hoc committee, maybe for the tree code or aquatics facilities? Or aquatics facilities, thank you. Just look around here. We have current and future leaders in the city of Shoreline. Thank you all for your service. And finally, just to everyone, the people who make up our amazing, diverse community. It's the people who live here, work here, and find community here that make Shoreline such a special place. So today's theme, meeting the moment. People, progress, possibility. It's more than a phrase, it's a call to action. It's a reminder that the choices we make today shape our shared future. People are at the heart of everything we do. Our city thrives because of the connections we make and the spaces we create, whether it's in our parks, through civic conversations, or supporting one another through conflict. We know that a strong community starts with strong relationships. Progress means building a city that works for everyone. On a physical level, it means investing in infrastructure, supporting local businesses, and driving economic development and opportunity. On a human level, it's building relationships and knitting our community closer together. Progress is not just growth. It's creating an environment that strengthens neighborhoods and enhances quality of life. And that kind of progress leads to possibility, the belief that together we can achieve more. Possibility is what happens when we listen, when we innovate, and when we commit to creating a city where everyone feels they belong. It's about opening doors, fostering engagement, and ensuring that everyone has an opportunity to thrive. Now more than ever, we take pride in being a welcoming and inclusive community. Since January 2017, Council has adopted resolutions that affirm Shoreline as an inviting, equitable, and safe community for all. Three resolutions reflect a commitment to stand against hate, violence, and intolerance, to become an anti-racist community, and to protect human rights for all. Federal immigration enforcement actions over the past year are deeply concerning. Civil rights abuses, a lack of accountability, and inappropriate uses of force cause anxiety and feelings of insecurity, particularly among our immigrant residents. These actions undermine public trust, weaken community cohesion, and discourage residents from engaging with local government and public safety services, and they do not reflect our city values. According to a 2024 American Community Survey, approximately 21% of Shoreline's more than 66,000 residents were born outside of the United States, and that's a statistic we are proud of. Recognizing the disruptive and harmful impact that immigration enforcement activities have on families, schools, businesses, and the community at large, we're working purposefully as a city to deepen our relationships and understanding within immigrant communities. We're proud of the Shoreline Police Department and the King County Sheriff's Office for their ongoing commitment to building trust with residents. They recognize that community trust is an essential part of public safety. As we reaffirm our shared values and commitment to supporting every member of our community, we also look forward to the moments that bring us together in celebration. What better way than to bring our diverse community together than when the world's game comes to this region? Shoreline is preparing to celebrate soccer, culture, and community in partnership with Destination Shoreline and the Shoreline Chamber of Commerce. We're bringing the excitement of the World Cup to neighborhoods across the city, putting a spotlight on our global spirit and local pride. Through a series of World Cup-inspired events, we will celebrate the diverse, connected community that makes Shoreline special. We hope you'll join us for an International Night of Dance this Saturday, a video game tournament for middle schoolers on June 13th, a global festival on June 30th, and the Shoreline Community Cup Youth Soccer Jamboree and International Market on July 12th. These celebrations are examples of how shared experiences strengthen community connection, and we hope to see you all there. In recent years, the city has expanded its calendar of special events and co-sponsored events that reflect Shoreline's diversity and spirit. Celebrations such as Dia de los Muertos, the Lantern Festival, Juneteenth, and Pride continue to grow and bring residents together. This expanding lineup of cultural events brings joy and connection to residents throughout the year and would not be possible without valued community partner Shore Lake Arts. Their hard work and dedication to culture and arts in Shoreline is an essential part of what makes our community so vibrant. Our biggest and newest event in recent years kicked off last November. Over the course of 8 weeks, more than 21,000 people visited Shorelights, our winter light display. Food trucks and musical performances added to the festive atmosphere and helped increase attendance. We received strong positive feedback from the community through social media engagement, emails, and phone calls, illuminating community interest and appreciation for this new winter tradition. Not bad for a first year, and we are already planning year 2. So just as Shorelights created new opportunity for gathering, the city is investing in innovative spaces that support creativity, entrepreneurship, and everyday community life. In the coming year, we plan to open the North City Commons, located at the old lawnmower shop at 185th and 10th Northeast. It will serve as a community third place that brings together food trucks, artists, and artisan galleries. The vision is to convert the old shop into a covered pavilion with restrooms, tables, and performance space. Kids and adults alike will have a place to eat, shop, and play, or just relax in an outdoor oasis. The idea for North City Commons emerged from organic collaboration between both public and private partners. Part of what makes it so exciting is the spontaneous expression of community support, from letter writing to community work parties, neighborhood organizations, local entrepreneurs, and artists, along with the city, county, and state. We're all making contributions to create this center for community connection that will last for years to come. As we work to create new, vibrant public spaces, our city parks remain the heart of community connection in Shoreline. Parks are where communities come alive. They're places where neighborhoods meet, friendships deepen, and families create lasting memories. In a world that often feels fast-paced and disconnected, parks give us a chance to slow down, breathe, and share simple joys. Parks bring us together, and in doing so, help us build stronger, more vibrant communities. In February 2022, Shoreline voters approved a bond that is transforming many of these green spaces. Improvements are underway, or soon will be, at Upper Hamlin, Brokers Bog, and Hillwood Parks, while construction is already complete at Shoreview, Richmond Highlands, Ridgecrest, and James Keogh Parks. We just held that grand opening last week. And if you haven't made it to Krukeberg in the past year, please, I invite you to take a stroll down the award-winning new ADA-compliant walkway into the heart of the garden. Once complete, these investments will have added 2 new off-leash dog parks, 2 spray parks, 5 new play areas, 2 new restrooms, a sensory trail, an all-abilities playground, new skate features, and a multitude of trails, benches, and picnic tables. In addition to the bond-supported improvements happening at these existing parks, we're also adding new locations for neighbors to gather, play, and connect. Shoreline is currently in the design phase for 4 new neighborhood parks: Edwin T. Pratt Memorial Park, Westminster, West Echo Lake, and a green space just west of the 192nd Park and Ride. Construction will begin on these new locations once funding is secured. And with the help of grant funding, we have also acquired parcels adjoining Ronald Bog and Twin Ponds Parks, and the future North City Commons and Seattle City Light Greenbelt. All of these investments, not just in land, equipment, and infrastructure, they're investments in community. And that doesn't start with parks. Another major new project now taking shape is a potential new pool. On Monday, Council adopted Resolution 562, placing a measure on the November ballot to create the Shoreline Metropolitan Parks District to build and operate a pool and future recreation facility. The current design for a new 48,000 square foot indoor public pool that includes an 8-lane lap pool with a diving area, a leisure pool with a lazy river, a wellness area, and more. The facility would be located just north of here on the city-owned Shoreline Secure Storage property. And as recommended by a pool advisory committee, Council agreed that a metropolitan district is the best option for funding construction and ongoing maintenance and operations. This project builds on years of public input and planning. Shoreline community members have expressed strong interest in a new facility that meets our community needs. Pools are a vital community asset, places for recreation, connection, and health. These combined efforts reflect Shoreline's ongoing commitment to creating a community where everyone feels welcome, connected, and valued. Whether through cultural celebrations, gathering spaces, revitalized parks, or a future investment in a pool, we continue to create opportunities for neighbors to come together and share our city resources. Let's pivot now to talk about our second theme of the morning, progress. Progress means building a city that works for everyone. It's about investing in infrastructure, supporting local businesses, fostering economic development and opportunities. It is intentional growth that supports the quality of life we value. This year, we have made progress on several major transportation projects, investments across Shoreline. We're about to cut the ribbon on one of those long-awaited improvements, the 145th Corridor project. Yeah. We know the construction has had significant impact on our community and beyond. And now that it nears completion, we will soon be able to enjoy improved safety, reduced congestion, and easier multimodal travel. The 145th Corridor has needed this improvement for decades, and this project adds 2 new roundabouts on either side of I-5, wider sidewalks, and dedicated left turn lanes. This work, combined with work that Sound Transit is about to begin on the east side of I-5, will transform the entire corridor, making it safer and more efficient for all users. Another major milestone on the horizon is placement of the 148th Street pedestrian bike bridge over I-5. The bridge will create a new link for people walking, biking, or rolling to the Shoreline South station, improving safety, shortening travel times, and strengthening access to regional transit. So this is a heads up. On a night still to be determined later this year, we need to close both directions of I-5 while 2 cranes lift that bridge span and plop it down into place. It'll be interesting. Okay, and maybe you hoped we were done with roundabouts. Nope. A uniquely shaped roundabout, it's more of a roundabean, will soon replace the stop signs at 160th and Greenwood and Innis Arden Way. Once complete, the bean will ease congestion and improve circulation through this challenging intersection, which also serves as an important gateway to Shoreline College. Construction is underway, and we expect completion early next year. We're continuing our voter-approved investments in sidewalks, supporting our commitment to safe routes for people of all ages and abilities. Next up, Dayton Avenue. Following extensive community engagement, we selected a design that preserves the most trees while best serving its most frequent users. Construction is also underway on the 8th Avenue Northwest project, and we expect to complete it this fall. And we'll soon begin construction on a sidewalk for 19th Avenue Northeast. Thanks to successful legal action, funding for the critical first phase of the 175th Corridor project is still in place, ensuring vital, seismic mitigation, that's important, and vital seismic mitigation, that work will move forward. So in case you missed it, the current administration and the other Washington targeted this FEMA funding for cancellation, along with many other disaster mitigation projects across the country. Fortunately, Washington's Attorney General, Nick Brown, along with allies in other states, were able to restore this funding. We expect to begin construction on that one next summer. And finally, earlier this year, we secured $850,000 in federal funding for the Trail Along the Rail. This 2.5-mile pedestrian bike trail will run next to the light rail guideway, connecting our 2 stations and extending north to 195th Street, the pedestrian bike bridge over I-5. So when Trail Along the Rail is complete, it will also integrate with major regional routes, including Seattle's bike paths on 5th Avenue Northeast, the Interurban, and the Burke-Gilman. As we think about connections and how residents get around our community, we look for new ways to make transportation easier and more accessible. Since 2024, Lime has operated a micromobility pilot program in Shoreline to help assess whether shared e-bikes and e-scooters are a good long-term fit for our community. This pilot program supports our commitment to sustainable transportation in the adopted comprehensive and climate action plans. The pilot with Lime is set to end later this year, and staff are currently reviewing data as we are considering whether to extend that program or not. And while this pilot has been beneficial for many people using it to navigate around town and transit, we know there are also safety concerns that we must consider. Shoreline, like much of Washington, has seen an increase in crashes, resulting in serious injuries and fatalities in recent years. To better understand and counteract this trend, we're developing a new transportation safety action plan aligned with the federal Safe Streets and Roads for All program. This plan will guide future safety investments and position Shoreline for more funding opportunities. Strengthening safety and mobility also means ensuring our land use planning keeps pace with the growth happening around us. 10 years ago, the City Council adopted our 2 light rail station sub-area plans. And with light rail now running and the areas around the stations rapidly evolving, we're updating the plans to match today's reality and tomorrow's needs. This update focuses on 3 key areas. First, we're revisiting the growth limits set in earlier environmental reviews. Development is approaching those thresholds, and raising them will allow us to maintain predictable, efficient permit processing for both residents and businesses. Second, we're studying new ways to improve connections between neighborhoods near the light rail stations. That includes exploring routes beyond traditional public streets, such as pedestrian and bicycle-only connections, or limited access vehicle pathways that allow local traffic, trash collection, and emergency services. These connections would be built incrementally over time as the areas transition from predominantly single-family homes to mixed-use neighborhoods. And finally, we are looking at allowing more non-residential land uses in a limited area near the 185th Street station, particularly around the Shoreline Center and nearby privately owned properties. This study will consider flexibility for certain types of land uses, such as regional sports and entertainment. These updates build on the thoughtful groundwork laid by previous councils and continue our long-term commitment to intentional, sustainable growth. All these infrastructure investments and planning efforts directly support meeting our climate goals. Transportation accounts for the largest share of our community's greenhouse gas emissions, and most of that comes from personal vehicle travel. We have a climate goal of a 50% reduction in emissions by 2030 and net zero by 2050. The way we plan, build, and connect our city is central to achieving these goals. Compact development, efficient land use, and walkable transit-supportive neighborhoods are essential components of a resilient, low-carbon future. And the growth we see around our station areas and along transit corridors is the type of development we envisioned more than a decade ago. Without these plans in place, development would be more dispersed, less walkable, and more car-dependent, putting our climate goals out of reach. So instead, this planning is inspiring strategic investments that shift travel patterns and reduce emissions over time. This commitment to density must go hand in hand with our commitment to a healthy urban forest. Our tree canopy goal is 40% coverage by the year 2050, and we're currently at 37.1%. To reach this goal, we need to help preserve trees where we can and plant new trees. Because city-owned land offers limited space for plantings, we are advancing policies that support tree preservation and encouraging planting on private property. That's why we're undertaking a comprehensive update to our tree code. This update will align our regulations with urban forestry, best practices, and ensure that tree preservation keeps pace with the city's development. These rules may include many requirements for the maintenance and removal of existing trees, protection and retention requirements during redevelopment, replacement standards for removed trees, and enforcement and penalties for noncompliance. The current code, based largely on pre-incorporation King County rules, has been adjusted incrementally over the years, leading to inconsistencies. A holistic update is necessary to meet both the community's expectations and our canopy goals. Shoreline recently received another large federal grant, $4.4 million from the EPA, and that's going to allow us to set up a shoreline reuse center. The Reuse Center will serve as a one-stop community resource for residents and businesses to responsibly buy, donate, repair, and repurpose goods. We're designing the project to inspire innovative waste reduction solutions and expand community assets to services. The Reuse Center will have space for collecting and reselling salvaged building materials, a tool library, a community bike shop, offering used bicycle sales and repair services, and it will have a space for local reuse and repair organizations to provide waste reduction programs. What makes this grant even more notable is how competitive it was nationally. 300 local governments across the United States submitted applications, equaling more than 1 billion in total requests. The EPA selected only 17 applicants to receive 58 million, and Shoreline's portion represents 5% of the total funding awarded. Those are our tax dollars coming back to Shoreline. As with so many of our major initiatives, we could not do this without strong partnerships at every level of government. We are grateful to Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell and Representative Pramila Jayapal for their advocacy, helping make this project possible. Now let's turn to economic development. In just the past several years, Shoreline has experienced some of the most significant growth in its history. More people are discovering what we already know. Shoreline is a wonderful place to call home. Since 2020, more than 4,000 new homes have been built, over 3,600 multifamily units, and more than 400 townhomes, many within walking distance of our new light rail stations. Transit-oriented communities like Connect, Verdant, and The Line are leasing up quickly, helping make Shoreline the fastest growing suburb in the Seattle region. The most recent housing project, the Alexan Shoreline East, broke ground in 2024 and expects to start leasing in 2027. To put this growth in perspective, from 2000 to 2020, our population grew by about 10%. But in just the last 5 years, we nearly matched that growth, bringing us to almost 64,000 residents today. While high interest rates and construction costs have slowed development recently, we are now seeing renewed momentum. The Leeway project, expected to open in the summer of 2028, will activate the Shoreline South 148th Street station area in new and exciting ways. And at Shoreline Place, we expect their next development phase to begin this year at the former Sears Auto Center site. And when completed, Block D will feature 2 mid-rise buildings, 16,000 square feet of retail space, facing a new East Plaza and hundreds of new apartment homes. You might be surprised to learn that Shoreline is strengthening its position as a regional hub for science, research, and education. In 2024, the Washington State Public Health Laboratories expanded their newborn screening wing, serving Washington, Idaho, and Alaska. Earlier this year, they broke ground on a new $50 million environmental laboratory addition that will open in 2027. Shoreline College continues to lead in workforce innovation. Its Cedar Health Science and Manufacturing Building opened in 2023, and the National Science Foundation recently designated the college a national biotech hub and provided the college a $500,000 award to support training and advanced research. But Shoreline's economic strength isn't only defined by major investments in new construction, it's also reflected in the thousands of small businesses that power our community every day. In 2025, through our partnership with the Shoreline Chamber of Commerce and the Lake City Collective, We met face-to-face with over 130 small business owners and managers, connecting them to resources from the city, county, state, and local nonprofits. We were proud to host the second annual Navigating Success Small Business Forum at City Hall in collaboration with the Small Business Development Center and the Shoreline Chamber of Commerce. More than 100 diverse business owners took part in 9 workshops focused on strengthening management skills and improving operations, helping local entrepreneurs grow and thrive. Our partnership with the SBDC continues to deliver results. Last year, over 60 small businesses received one-on-one advising, more than half of them women-led enterprises. Their commitment, paired with expert support, helped create new jobs, launch new businesses, and generate over $13 million in gross revenue. Shoreline is growing with intention, welcoming new residents, supporting small businesses, and building the foundation for a strong and resilient future. And now we turn to our final theme, possibility. Possibility is the belief that together we can imagine and achieve more. Possibility is what happens when we listen, when we innovate, and when we commit to creating a city where everyone feels they belong. It's about opening doors, fostering engagement, and ensuring equitable opportunities. Providing quality human services is a community priority. Each year we provide just over $1 million to a broad range of programs to support community well-being. Our human services programs focus on basic needs, counseling, and behavioral health, and homelessness. The goal is to provide those services in an accessible and equitable manner. This has been a challenging year for anyone working in support of our most vulnerable community members. Core programs that people rely on to survive were dismantled or had their funding cut significantly. Budget and staffing cuts for federal departments, program and policy changes, and general instability created uncertainty, increased anxiety for those with the fewest resources. Calls from people looking for financial help for rent, utilities, food, medical, and other basic needs are on the rise. Access to health and behavioral health care is precarious, and those with the fewest resources have increasing needs for services. Despite these ongoing hits, we are thankful for our partners who continue their heroic work in our community. Dedicated staff, volunteers, and caring neighbors persevere in these challenging times, doing all they can to serve, support, and defend one another. Here are just a few highlights from our local partners and what they were able to do with our support in 2025. HopeLink provided financial help and food support for over 170 people in 80 households. Of those households, 62 received rent, eviction prevention, or move-in support. And then in partnership with the Holiday Baskets event, HopeLink helped provide 340 families with additional food services. Lake City Partners Ending Homelessness increased their capacity at the Aurora Oaks Enhanced Shelter from 60 to 65 beds, providing housing for over 240 individuals. 264 people accessed emergency housing, almost double 2024, and they were able to move 124 people into permanent housing. The Center for Human Services served over 550 Shoreline residents with their family support, mental health, and substance abuse programs. 97% of those individuals receiving behavioral health services through CHS report improved mental health. Shoreline Community Care, a volunteer-run organization that provides emergency financial help, provided over 240 Shoreline residents with smaller amounts of money for housing, utilities, or other basic needs. Nearly 950 Shoreline residents took part in wellness, fitness, and food and nutrition programs offered by the Shoreline Lake Forest Park Senior Activity Center. Almost 100 of those residents received support from Senior Center social worker, Jill Beeler. And for service to community, Jill was the recipient of the 2025 North Urban Human Services Alliance Human Services Champion Award. And finally, Canopy Scholars, an after-school tutoring program for low-income youth, provided academic support to 45 individuals. And all of those students are now performing at or above grade level. We will continue to support our human services partners and neighbors so all people in Shoreline can not only live, but thrive. And of course, none of this progress would be possible without the people who strengthen and support our community every day. For the third year, we are preparing a celebration of community members who make a positive impact in Shoreline every day. On August 14th, we will host the Community Champion Awards, recognizing community and business leadership who help make Shoreline a thriving, vibrant, and welcoming place for all. In partnership with the Shoreline Chamber of Commerce, the Community Champion Awards will be presented alongside the Chamber's Business People of the Year Awards. So I believe this is the big unveiling right here. Please join me in celebrating the city's nominees for the Community Champion Awards. They are Shelly Anderson, Jen Belcourt, Hannah Berg, Darnisha Bowman, Betty Lynn Brown, George Buswell, Cindy C. Wilson, Allison Durr, Guru Dorji, Marina Early, Kate Ledbetter, Sarah Kennedy, Jill Rogers, and Christina Yaktos. Congratulations to the nominees. A reception will take place before and after the community at the ceremony in the City Hall lobby right here in Plaza. So you're all invited back here in August to recognize these leaders and their contributions towards meaningfully improving the lives of Shoreline residents. And now in closing, thank you for coming today and helping us once again celebrate our great community. As we look ahead, let's commit to meeting this moment together with the people who make our community strong, the progress that moves us forward, and the possibilities that inspire us. Thank you.